Alright, hey, our last short video was about the layers of Earth by composition, where we only had three: the crust, the mantle, and the core. Compositional changes, chemistry changes, that's what we talked about last time. And today we're talking about layers of the Earth, this time by physical properties. So how that layer really behaves, how it acts, the characteristics it has. And if we look at the Earth in this way, by physical properties, there's 5 layers. Starting on the outside of Earth and working towards the middle, we would have the lithosphere, the asthenosphere, the mesosphere, the outer core, and the inner core. And as we get deeper inside the Earth, there's really 2 variables that we're looking at that really kind of drive how these layers act. They really determine what physical property we're seeing. And those 2 properties are pressure and temperature. If we work from the outside of Earth down towards the center, the first layer is the lithosphere. And the lithosphere is really defined by rocks acting like rocks like how we know them. They're cool, and they're rigid, and they're brittle, and they cannot bend. If you put a force on it, they will break. Underneath the lithosphere, though, we have the asthenosphere. And this is when rocks start to act kind of weird. Because of the increased temperature and the increased pressure, this is a layer that has kind of what scientists describe as plastic flow. So they're still solid rocks, but because of the pressure and the temperature, they can flow and move. So they're soft, they're pliable. They're almost like really warm, really good Laffy Taffy. And so this layer can bend without breaking. When we go even deeper inside the Earth, the mesosphere really can throw people off. This is the 3rd layer down: lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere. And if we just think kind of rationally, we have this pattern going on where the lithosphere is cool and rigid, the asthenosphere is closer to its melting temperature and it's kind of soft and pliable, and a natural progression, you would think the mesosphere then would be a liquid layer, and it's not. And this is where we get this really interesting back and forth of pressure and temperature. Pressure can increase the melting temperature of a rock. So down in the mesosphere, the pressure is so great that the pressure itself is squeezing that material back into a solid state. It doesn't allow it to become a liquid just because of the pressure. So although the temperature has been increasing in the mesosphere, so is the pressure. And the pressure wins this battle. It squeezes and confines those rocks and pushes them back into their solid state form. So the mesosphere is actually more rigid than the asthenosphere. Going even further into the Earth, now we're talking about the core, which has first the outer core, which is a liquid. So now temperatures are so high that it can actually liquefy the iron and nickel that makes up the core. And this is really important. This is really important for people here on Earth because this liquid layer, this molten material, it moves around inside Earth. And that movement of this molten metallic liquid produces our magnetic field. And that magnetic field, it saves us from a lot of radiation from the sun. Now, if we didn't have it, none of us would be here. Nothing would be alive on the surface of Earth. Going from the liquid outer core, the very middle of our planet goes back to being a solid. We have a solid inner core, solid iron and nickel. And again, it's because of that pressure. There is so much pressure, such intense pressure in the center of the planet that although the center of the planet, the temperature, it's hotter than the surface of the sun, but because of all of that pressure, the pressure alone squeezes molecules back into their solid state. It does not allow them to flow and move like liquid molecules would. And I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty awesome. So when we look at the layers of Earth by physical properties, the orders: lithosphere, asthenosphere, mesosphere, outer core, inner core. Okay, if you have any questions about these layers, please make sure to let me know. Thanks.